Hey guys, it's the mama here. Before we get started, I just wanted to put this quick disclaimer out there. We make light of a lot of horrible things, and trust me, they are horrible. We are not, however, making fun of the topics we discuss. Us laughing or cracking jokes is simply our way of coping with the atrocities we talk about. We have nothing but love and support for the victims and their families, and we'll never stoop that low. We've experienced tragedy ourselves. This is why we do what we do. That being said, stay spoopy, our friends. Horror Cultural, where we grow love for all things spooky and macabre. Hey, horror heads.
Hey, guys.
Wow. I actually got most...
Dreamcatcher!
Because they're behind my head?
Yep. I was put on the spot. I had to think quick.
Hey, guys.
Hey, everyone.
How has everyone been doing?
Says the woman expecting a response.
I know, right? I don't know about you guys, but I fucking hate the spring.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that was weird.
This is what happens when we record and we don't edit shit. So,
Nope.
there we go. Note to self, put my phone on silent.
Like I do.
Well, it wouldn't matter because he's in my favorites, and so it would still come through like yours does when I'm sitting at my desk.
Yeah.
And the one day my boss was standing there talking to me, and you called, and it was like the ringtone where it's like some dubstep, and she started dancing, and I could not stop laughing. Anyway, yeah. What was I saying? Oh, I fucking hate spring.
Yeah, spring sucks. The only thing that sucks worse than spring is summer. Which is weird because my birthday is in the summer.
I don't like the summer either, and I am also a summer baby.
Yeah, it's like I like autumn and winter. My brain shorted out for a second.
I like the spring because everything is pretty, but the allergies fucking kill me. And
I just don't
am
like...
exhausted.
I just don't like the leggy boys. We all know them. We all hate them.
Oh, shit. All right, guys. So, without further ado,
She's going to start this episode.
I stepped outside the box a little bit,
Uh-huh.
but not real far. That's going to get fucking annoying real quick. So, since you recently found out just how Scottish you are...
Yeah, I did a DNA test recently because, I wanted to see how Italian I am. Not very much, as it turns out.
You might look Italian and your last name might be Italian, but you really aren't that much Italian.
I'm like 12% Italian, and all of that Italian went into me making me look like my father, and that's basically it.
Yeah, you're what, 49%?
I'm like 48, 49% Scottish.
So most of that came from me.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I figured, let me peep at
Haggis.
what our motherland
Uh-huh.
had in store for us.
Oh, boy.
And today, we're going to talk about the Finfolk. Finfolk.
Like merfolk? Like people with fins?
I'm going to get into that.
Okay.
So there were actually a lot of Scottish folklore types of
Oh,
things.
yeah, they have some wild stuff.
I mean, we all know what the most famous one is.
Just say it.
Nessie.
Yeah.
But this isn't about her. This one's not her. Maybe another time we'll do something about Nessie, but...
Oh, I can do something about Nessie and other things associated with Nessie. Trust me.
Pretty much everybody knows Nessie, so...
But if you don't, long story short, it's
She a monster.
she's a monster that supposedly lives in Loch Ness, also known as Lake, because that's Lake Ness, which Loch is the Scottish word for lake. And she became very famous in, what was it, the 70s?
Yeah, there's been lots of sightings of her since then.
But, like, the famous photo of her was, like, 70-something.
Where there was no Photoshop, where you couldn't fake shit.
It was just a really... It was like... she's on the same level as Sasquatch. Blurry-ass photo, goes viral. Or that time period's equivalent of viral.
I mean, and coming from me, who is a graphic designer by trade,
Mm-hmm.
I could fake some good-ass shit. But that original photo...
Yeah.
It's pretty compelling.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know the legend of Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster, I suggest you look up the original photo, not some of this new wave shit where she's wearing a tiara and has a unicorn horn, but like the original photo, because it is pretty fucking compelling.
It looks like...
And she's supposed to be a plesiosaurus.
And, like, some theories are that she's, there's like a time wormhole or something near the bottom of the lake of Loch Ness.
Well, because it's super duper deep, so you never fucking know. Just like the sharks, the megalodons. God, Jason Statham just came. I liked the first one.
Oh, that's right. They're making a second one.
They're making a second one, and he's in it, and I will watch it.
But yeah, the original picture of Nessie looks like the creature wasn't even unlocked yet. It's like a black silhouette. Anyway, on to the Finfolk.
So today, girls and guys, I bring to you Finfolk.
Okay.
The Finfolk mythology originates from the Orkney area, also known as the Orkney Islands, which is a bunch of little islands at the top of Scotland. But then there's more islands above that, which are connected to something else. So if you look it up, it's like right at the tip of Scotland.
Okay. Is it Orkney?
Yes.
Oh, cool. First guess.
So the Finfolk are the Finn man, Man, and the Finn wife. Now, Finn man is not to be confused with Finn men, spelled differently, Finnmen.
Like Finnish men.
Nope.
Really?
Who are an Inuit tribe sited around the northern part of Scotland.
Oh, okay.
So, the Finn man, or the Finn folk, are said to be sorcerous shapeshifters of the storm and sea. It is also said that they are true amphibious creatures, being able to come and go as they please between their undersea home and the human realm. They lead a strictly nomadic lifestyle. Well, the man does.
Yeah.
And live under the sea.
Under the sea!
In the winter and on their magical island homeland called Hildeland in the summer. This is a magical... air testicles, magical disappearing island.
So, you know what? I have seen stuff like that in video games.
So, later, however, that island was taken from them and renamed to Iron Hollow? Eynhallow. Now, we're talking... a lot of this stuff in this is Gaelic. So I had to go.
You had to go translate it
because I don't know Gaelic. I do want to learn Gaelic, but it's a very hard language. And what is it? Is it Duolingo?
Duolingo, yeah.
Has Gaelic where you can learn it.
Yeah.
And I started listening and fucking fried my brain.
You're just like. That's not noises a mouth makes.
No, it's not. But it's a beautiful language.
Yeah.
And I do want to learn it because, I mean, I am like 48% Scottish myself.
Yeah.
So.
The last time I used Duolingo, I tried to learn Russian, and that was a weird language.
Well, you thought that was weird. Try Gaelic. Not that Gaelic is weird, guys. It's a gorgeous language.
It's just that
I'm just one of those people that I don't pick up languages very well other than my own, except for dirty words.
Yeah, we know a bunch of dirty words in other languages.
That is very true. And I took 4 years of Spanish, and I still can only say my name is in Spanish. Except for the dirty words, or suck my dick, or whatever.
One of my favorite sentences in Spanish is, una fiesta en mi pantalones con queso gato.
There's a party in my pants.
With a cheesy cat.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And whenever I say it, people who don't speak Spanish are like, the hell does that mean? And I tell them, and they have your reaction. I say that to a native Spanish speaker, and they look at me like I have 3 heads.
Say it to Aunt Sia the next time you see her. My sister-in-law is Dominican and Puerto Rican, so she will probably laugh her ass. First, she's going to look at you like there's something fucking wrong with you.
She'll be like, the hell was that?
She'll be like, monster. Okay. Anywho,
Okay.
here we go. Off the rails already.
Okay, so Disappearing Island.
All right, so you might be wondering, what do the Finfolk look like? The Finn man is said to appear as a tall and thin man with a mean kind of gloom and doom face. Not a happy chap by any stretch of the imagination.
So, me with
He looked like he got resting bitch face
I was gonna
all
say,
the fucking time.
Me with resting bitch face if I were about 150 pounds lighter.
Jesus Christ. He is said to have a metric shit ton of magical powers and is able to row between Norway and Orkney in 7 oar strokes. So, like,
That's
7 strokes of the oar.
That's a hell of a... That's some good upper body strength.
Now, I don't know how far the distance is, but I imagine it's more than 7 strokes.
I will let you know in a second. Continue on.
Because he can do this, it makes his ship invisible. Like, that moving so fast you can't see it kind of thing.
Like, you blink and you miss it.
Right. So this also allows him to have a whole fleet of boats.
Yeah.
Doesn't say what kind of boats, like big or little dinghy types. But for shits and giggles, we're going to say they're big boats. Because, hey,
Could you imagine 7 oar strokes and you're just like...
Well, yeah, that's going to be like the Flash. Where it's gone, and you don't fucking see it.
Yeah.
He's said to avoid human contact, but he will wreak all kind of havoc on fishermen's boats because he is extremely territorial and believes that those are his waters. He will wreck the boats, steal the anchors, break the fishing lines, all things that will essentially cause the fisherman to lose his livelihood. And if you think about it, if he's like wrecking your boat and stealing your anchor and shit, and you're in the boat when he does this, he could possibly sink your boat and fucking kill you.
Wait, it's Orkney to Norway, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So look at the top of Scotland. Where
I have it up on maps.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
That's a pretty fucking big distance, not gonna lie.
So definitely more than 7 oar strokes.
Oh, yeah,
So, not a nice dude if and you ask me.
Yeah.
But some say, and here we go, if you draw a cross on the bottom of your boat, like not inside the boat, but under the boat, the part that's in the water, with chalk or tar, which I'm pretty sure chalk
would probably make more
would
sense.
wash off.
Well, it's the intent of it, you know?
Well, if you put chalk on the underside of your boat, and then you put your boat in the water, it's going to wash off. So, they say chalk or tar, that it will deter him.
Yeah.
Because apparently, the Finfolk despise the Christian cross more than anything.
Yeah.
So, this guy is so crafty and smart. I can't help it. I'm already starting. It's said that he can cheat you out of your silver and your wife.
Oh.
So, imagine your hubby comes home and says, well, the Finman took my silver, and apparently you're his wife now, too. Guess I shouldn't have been in his waters. I didn't even see that crafty bastard. His boat was so fast. My bad. Nice having you. You gotta go. I mean, how does that conversation take place?
Right.
But it is known, and I get into this a little bit more, that the Finfolk love silver. Not gold, silver.
Yeah.
Which we all know, gold is a precious metal as well, and it's more expensive than silver. So, I don't know, maybe he just liked silver more.
So, according to Google Maps, a flight from Kirkwall, Orkney Islands, United Kingdom, to the closest major city in Norway, which is Stavanger, or Stavanger, I don't know. It is a 6-hour and 10-minute flight.
So, yeah, definitely more than 7 oar strokes.
Yeah. You want to drive over water for 36 hours? That's a thing.
Okay, so now let's get to the Finn wife, which is the female version of the Finn man.
Mm-hmm.
She begins her life as a stunning mermaid, hell-bent on getting herself a man's. Not just any man's, but a human man's.
Oh, man.
When she gets herself a human man's, she will take him with her to Finn... I'm not even making this up. I typed it out as you would say it. Finfolkahim.
Finfolk, okay.
Or as some of the old stories say, she may go live with him instead. Now, Finfolk is the under the sea.
Down where it's wetter, down
That's
where
the home
it's better, take
under
it
the
from
sea.
me.
Yes, that's the home under the sea, not the magical disappearing island.
Yeah.
But this is the one under the sea. So,
I'm sorry to cut you off, but speaking of Little Mermaid, apparently that takes place off the coast of Italy.
They're not speaking Italian.
Yeah, and they're not speaking Nordic in fucking Frozen either.
That's very true.
They're not speaking Afrikaans in Lion King. They're not even supposed to be speaking in Lion King.
That also is
You're supposed to be hearing. "Ah."
So, there's an old folk story called Johnny Croy and His Mermaid Bride, and that talks about one of the Finn wives marrying a human.
A human.
And living with him as a human.
So when
not taking him back to Finfolk.
So the a Finn wife can either
anybody who is Gaelic, Scottish, Irish, because Irish also speak Gaelic.
Yeah.
I am probably butchering this shit. I'm doing my best. I am going to learn my heritage, but I'm an American. Just learning this shit. So I do apologize.
She's a native English speaker. We're not good with other languages for the most part.
But I'm a try.
So a Finn wife can marry a human male and either take them to Finfolk or live with that person as a human.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. I'm caught up
now. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky.
Oh, boy.
If she doesn't score herself a human man, she has to marry one of her own kind, a Finn man, and he'll cast her ashore to be a healer or a spinner. Okay. Now, a spinner is a person who does just that, spins yarn.
Okay, I was gonna say, like a, what are those called? The big wheelie things.
Yes. They spin the yarn in order to make fabric for clothing. So, like, the yarn that comes from...
A loom! That's the word!
Yes. A yarn that comes from, like... sheep,
llamas,
alpacas, shit like that. Or she'll be a healer. She's a witch, they say, and is very good at healing mankind as well as cows. Now we all know that's a witch's main priority. Most of us, we are healers. We want to keep the earth intact and shit like that. So.
And a Mitch's main priority is trying to live with the fact that their name is Mitch.
I mean, I guess she would be able to heal any other animals too, but it did specifically say cows, so there's that.
I will now heal your cow of sepsis. But what about my donkey? What?
He's fucked.
It's like, a what now?
So... after she's done her work as a healer or a spinner, she's then forced to send her silver home to the Finn man or risk him beating her ass on the regular. Not a risk I'd want to take, I'm just saying.
Especially when the Finn man is already a sourpuss.
Yeah, he's a big old dickhead. So, she's also said to have a black cat. Here we go again with the black cats. Probably why I love them so much. Who can also change into a fish and take messages back and forth to her homeland, which is what?
Finfolk.
Right?
So a cat...
and her family under the sea.
So,
well, if she could be from mermaid to human...
No, but...
But here's the thing. It doesn't say that he's a merman. He's him, and she starts her life as a mermaid.
I'm still stuck on cat to fish.
Well... like, human to fucking mermaid isn't any better.
But at least human to mermaid I've seen before. Like, I've watched Little Mermaid, I've seen other instances of...
Splash.
Yeah. And other instances in, like, other video games and novels and movies of, like, you know, you get the character into a body of water, boom, fish fins. But not a cat to a fish.
But... pretty fucking cool.
I guess.
So, basically, she's gonna have a better life if she marries a human man instead of a Finn man. Like, exponentially better. So that's what her sole purpose is when she wants a human male.
This just sounds
because she don't want to marry one of her own kind because they're absolute assholes.
This just sounds like a story of dating outside of one's race.
It kind of sounds like a fucked up version of Cinderella.
Well, like, it's like...
Except for she's got to marry one of her own kind, and he treats her like shit and beats her up.
Yeah.
Which, no.
Yeah, it's not.
She should just stab him with her fucking knitting needles.
Just so imagine this and gay like, hey, what's that over there?
Right in the fucking jugulars. So I don't find these guys really horrific, but the folklore is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
especially the Vanishing Islands part. Kind of makes me think that on a clear day you can see them, but then when it's dark and dismal, you can't, kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of like a mirage in a way.
Right. So, I didn't know mermaids can turn into other things besides mermaids. I mean, I know they can fake being human.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. To come ashore for a brief time. For instance, the movie Splash, which is a very old movie, but Daryl Hannah is a mermaid, and she comes and just, just watch it. I'm old, okay? It's a perfect example.
If you're listening to my mother, literally, apparently Daryl Hannah is a mermaid, comes to shore, and has a stroke.
No, she speaks dolphin. Yeah. So anyway.
There we go.
They fake human to come to shore for a brief time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't know they could, like, always live there.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Because I think after a certain amount of time of living there, maybe your
bits.
Mermaid tail, your giggly bits and all that stuff dries up, and now you can't go back to the water.
Well,
now that's what we're gonna do. When we're done recording, we're gonna watch Splash.
Oh boy.
Because I can't fucking remember.
But, what I was gonna say was about, like, staying on land and living on land forever. That was kind of, like, one of the main plot points of Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
She gave her voice up to Ursula so she could live amongst the humans and be with, what's his name, Prince Eric?
Yeah. And I mean, there will be a point where I do, mermen.
Yeah.
Merfolk, because to me, they're completely different.
Yeah.
Now, how the Finn wife begins her life as a mermaid, I don't understand, and I couldn't really find that much.
Oh, like if a human Finn wife gives birth to a mermaid Finn wife?
Well, no. My whole thought process when I read that she begins her life as a beautiful mermaid, which, honestly, when I do mermaids later on, or if you do mermaids later on, and I've already researched it a little bit, they're all not beautiful.
No.
They look beautiful until they get you and drag you underwater and fucking eat you.
Yeah, because remember, that is the original lore of mermaids. They would drag sailors to their deaths.
Yes.
And then we find out
So what is the difference between a Finn wife and an actual mermaid? Because they're definitely not the same.
Well, an actual mermaid was just sailors going ocean crazy and trying to get with manatees.
Poor manatees.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. That's the Finfolk, and while they're not terrifying,
they are still dangerous.
Completely. It's kind of cool to read some Scottish stuff, because it's not stuff that we really talk about, and I mean, it's kind of...
There's a few things we don't...
It's a little horror, but definitely cultural.
Well, like I said, we like we say all the time, we do spooky and macabre stuff, and that's still kind of spooky, and we do talk about supernatural stuff, and that's clearly supernatural.
Right. It definitely is, but I definitely need to, for sure, find out the correlation of why some mermaids are born merfolk and some are born Finfolk. Yeah. Because there's definitely got to be some sort of difference. Mm-hmm. And if there's not, there has to be, because the men aren't born. Yeah. They're not born mermaids. They're born
Finfolk.
Finman. I almost fucked up. Not Finmen.
So what would
those
be
are an Inuit tribe.
But, like, I mean, like, I feel like it would still be Finmen, but it's obvious we're talking about Finmen, not Finnmen.
It was very specific. Finman. So even if there's more than one, I guess it's not plural.
So it's just like Pokemon. It's not a cluster of Pikachus. It's just a cluster of Pikachu.
Yeah, that's to me what it is, because
Okay.
it was very specific. Like, do not get
This confused
with the Inuit tribes.
Don't get it twisted!
As we shouldn't, because Inuit tribes deserve all the fucking respect in the world.
Yeah, they go through a lot of shit.
So, anywho, I thought that was pretty fucking interesting.
Yes, and that ends the first half of this episode. We will be right back after these commercial messages.
And I gotta pee.
And welcome back to Horror Culture. Like, I'm not keeping that up.
That was so fucking cheesy!
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Ay, Dios mío. See? I do know some Spanish.
White. All right.
Okay, puta.
You don't want to start. So on my half of this episode, I actually wrote 2 mini reviews of horror movies that I have seen not long ago.
Oh, speaking of,
Uh-huh.
just saw a commercial for Boogeyman that's coming out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a little in on it. I'd have to, like, watch the trailer again, because the last time I saw it, it was actually in the theater.
Is it a remake or like a part 2?
No, I think it's an entirely different movie altogether.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I did 2 reviews. I did one for Renfield,
I have not seen that.
and I did one for Evil Dead Rise.
I have not seen that either.
I would expect not. They came out last
Well,
month.
Jeff could have got him.
Yeah, well, he didn't.
Well, he might have. I just haven't checked.
So anyway, I tried to keep these as spoiler-free as possible.
Okay.
So they're going to be a little shorter. That's why I wound up just doing 2. So we'll start with Renfield first. Renfield is a comedy horror... Oh, by the way, just...
Wait, what? Who's in Renfield again?
I'll get to that in just a second.
Okay.
So the way... I don't know if I've explained this before, or if anyone... Just in case anyone needs clarification. When it comes to movie genres, if it's like a comedy horror is different than a horror comedy. Because whatever is the first...
It's more comedic than horrific.
Yes, it's the first one is the main genre. The second is what it has elements of. So, Renfield being a comedy horror is comedy first and foremost, but it does have horror elements to it. And, yeah, you know, like, drama comedy, that kind of thing. Anyway, Renfield is a comedy horror film starring Nicolas Cage as Dracula.
That's right.
And Nicholas Hoult as the titular Renfield. Nicholas Hoult was in Warm Bodies, which is that zombie love movie. That's basically... It's literally just Romeo and Juliet.
I love Warm Bodies.
It is literally just Romeo and
Warm
Juliet with
Bodies
zombies.
was good.
He is also Beast in the... give me a second. I don't know what's going on with my brain.
What the fuck is wrong with my laptop today?
Hell if I know. Oh, the rebooted X-Men franchise where they went back in time and you had like James McAvoy as Professor X.
Okay.
Nicholas Hoult was Beast in those movies. And we all know who the fuck Nick Cage is. The story takes place in modern times, so, you know, nowadays. And it follows Dracula and Renfield moving to New Orleans to hide in an abandoned hospital. Because the movie explains that, like, every century or so, they have to move because their previous place gets destroyed, or they get found out, and they get driven out.
Kind of reminds me of What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
I fucking love that show.
Both the movie and the show are great.
Oh my god, they're so fucking funny. They're so stupid. They're funny. I have to catch up on that. I think I'm like 2 seasons behind.
But, and what I find hilarious, one of the most hilarious parts about Renfield, is that when they're giving the backstory of Renfield and Dracula, they recreate scenes from the old Hammer horror films, like with Bela Lugosi.
Oh, shit.
And Nick Cage is obviously doing the Bela Lugosi parts, and it's so... They did so well with his makeup. It was amazing. But yeah, in modern times, they move to New Orleans, and they're hiding out in an abandoned hospital. Without going too deep to avoid spoilers, the film balances horror with comedy with over-the-top, gory, violent fight scenes. And if you've seen the Red Band trailer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're talking like when Renfield eats the spider and he cuts the guy's arms off with the decorative tray in that one restaurant or whatever. And then there's the other scene, which is also in one of the trailers, where he's fighting all these guys in the the apartment building. And you see him like
giving spoilers because I don't know.
They're in the trailer. It's not spoilers. He's like ripping people's arms off, and you just see blood all over the place.
I don't think I've seen the trailers, but I'm like I remember I saw commercials, but did I watch the actual trailer? I gotta tell you, probably not.
You want to watch? You would like the Red Band trailers. They're fun. Nicolas Cage definitely brings new life to the Dracula character with his signature. Let's call them Cageisms.
Oh, shit.
You know, the expressive faces, the I can't tell if he's overacting or not kind of thing.
He probably is, but...
And his whole body language. Like, I'm not gonna... This doesn't really give anything away, but there's a scene where, Renfield and Dracula are talking, and Renfield is trying to, compose himself, and the whole time Dracula is just like, yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. Go on. Uh-huh.
Oh my.
And he's just fucking with him the whole scene. And it's so great. And Nick Cage is like the best performance in the movie. With a story written by Robert Kirkman, who also created The Walking Dead.
Yes.
And Invincible, which great animated series, and it's a great comic. It felt like watching a comic book come to life. Awkwafina, I don't know what she does outside of the movies that I've seen her in. She plays a cop that's trying to prove herself within a corrupt police force. Excuse me. And Ben Schwartz, who some of you will most likely now know him as the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog from the movies recently.
Oh, okay.
He was also in Parks and Recreation. And he's also the voice of Leonardo in Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon that aired, a year or two ago on Nickelodeon? He plays the kind of sort of villain, which is, he's like the villain that isn't Dracula.
Okay.
If you want to just sit down and watch a dumb, fun movie, definitely should give Renfield a try. It's fresh life into a well-worn character that we haven't seen in a while. And I think the last time, a comedy film for Dracula was, that I remember, is probably, Dracula Dead and Loving It, with Leslie Nielsen. I would give it 8 out of 10.
I think I liked it. I remember that now.
8 out of 10, death worth a view based on the caliber of the talent involved alone. Like I said, Nicolas Cage, Nicholas Hoult, Awkwafina, Ben Schwartz, Robert Kirkman, being the writer of the story and all. But it's also a fun ride of a movie with a snarky, egotistical Dracula tormenting a self-deprecating Renfield who just wants to get his life together.
Poor guy.
So, the next mini-review is Evil Dead Rise. Boy!
I am anticipating this one.
So, going back to the horror-focused roots of what made the original Evil Dead fantastic, Evil Dead Rise takes the Necronomicon Ex Mortis to a new victim and a new location.
And the worst part is the Necronomicon isn't even real. But the worst part is you can speak anything into existence.
Yep.
So even though the Necronomicon was never an actual thing...
I mean, you can blame H.P. Lovecraft, so...
You can speak it into existence because you're speaking about it so much.
Yeah, like I said, you can blame H.P. Lovecraft. Gone are the days of Ash Williams with his chainsaw and boomstick. And in are the days...
Man, the boomstick is the best.
And in are the days of Deadites wreaking havoc on the world at large.
Oh, excuse me.
So, new hero and estranged sister, Beth visits her sibling...
Fucking Facebook!
Visits her sibling, Ellie. Ellie's children, and I'm just kind of skimming over the basic plot so I don't give out too many details. Ellie's children come across the evil book and some records that accompany it. Without divulging too much...
Right, because we don't want to do that.
Ellie is the initial possession of the movie. She's the one that's just like... Now open up now. The one where you see her...
Oh, yeah.
The redheaded woman.
Yeah.
And it's like, Mommy? Mommy's with the maggots now.
That freaked Warren out so bad he was like... That's all you. Oh, I don't even like this fucking commercial. He straight said that. I don't even like this fucking commercial. I was like, oh, I can't wait.
The actress, whose name is Alyssa Sutherland, by the way, I think she's known for, like, I want to say she was in Vikings?
Maybe?
If I told you the character name.
If you told me the character name, I would know, because you know that's my shit.
Vikings. But yeah, she did a fantastic job in this movie. Yeah, like, it was chilling how, like, creepy
Get
she
me a
came
character
out.
name, goddammit!
Let's see. She was... Aslog?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's a great actress.
Yes, she was in the movie as Ellie. But yeah, it was chilling watching her act as, like, the possessed Ellie. It was amazing. The creepiness was up to a new level for the franchise. The violence and gore were exactly what you would hope for. And just the acting in general was top-notch. Also, the opening title shot. Oh my god, it hyped me up so much for the rest of the movie. It was so good. If any of you haven't seen the movie, just go on YouTube and look up Evil Dead Rise opening title scene. What I think you... And it's like 10 seconds, 11 seconds long. But it's so good. You see that opening, like, title... The opening title crawl, and it's amazing. Yeah, Evil Dead opening scene, and it's like 10, 11 seconds long. It's so good. You see how that movie starts, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be good.
This is gonna kick ass.
For this one, honestly, it's probably one of my top movies of the year, and it's only May.
He's looking at a watch.
It is only May, and Evil Dead Rise is already one of my top movies of the year. 10 out of 10, peak horror as of right now. Like, this is one of the best horror movies I've seen in the past few years. And it's part of a very illustrious franchise, let's say. It is an excellent addition to it, and it's wild that Evil Dead as an entire franchise started off as a B-movie with, like, the shoeiest of shoestring budgets.
Yep.
We're talking, like, I want to say, like, what, 10 grand?
If you were to watch it now, you'd be like, the fuck?
Yeah, it holds up in different ways.
Think about it. Back when I was young, because, you know, I'm so old, I'm farting dust. But you gotta think about it back when I was young. The fucking original, the goddamn basement.
Yeah.
That scene fucking scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. So, the original Evil Dead from 1981, mind you guys.
I was 11.
That budget was about $350,000.
Yeah, that's a piss in the bucket right now.
So, roughly $350,000 to $375,000. Now, if we base that by, like, what other... Well, not even that. Like, I want to see what... Like, if we take another movie from 1981... let's say... I don't fucking know. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay.
Raiders of the Lost Ark had a budget of... Where the hell? Okay, you know what? I'll just Google that. Anyway, Raiders...
This adult beverage is definitely not going to be cold.
Budget.
God damn it.
Now, Raiders of the Lost Ark came out also in 1981. That movie had a budget of $20 million. Oh!
And how many Evil Deads were there?
There's, let's see, you have Evil Dead 1.
Fuck me, this is definitely not cold enough.
You have Evil Dead 1, 2, Army of Darkness, which, yes, that is...
I fucking love Army of Darkness!
Army of Darkness is great. You have Army of Darkness, then you have the Ash vs. the Evil Dead series.
I love that too!
Which ran for 3 seasons. And then you have the reboot Evil Dead from 2011, I think. And then you have Evil Dead Rise. So you're looking at 5 movies and a TV show. And it all started with a B movie that was made on $350,000 that actually almost got banned from theaters because of how violent it was.
And people thought it wouldn't go anywhere.
And now look at it. It has... It's possibly one of the most fan favorite of horror film franchises. Evil Dead was the little engine that could of the horror scene back when it first came out.
Yes.
But Evil Dead Rise proves that the series still has a lot to give. So, Renfield will most likely, for those of you that are interested, Renfield will most likely be able to stream by the end of May because it'll probably be on Peacock. Evil Dead Rise will most likely be available to stream by early to mid-June on HBO Max. Most films that are tied to companies with streaming services, your HBO Max, Peacock, stuff like that, are usually released on said services roughly 45 days after their initial release. But that's not always the case, because I think Nope came out over 100 days after it came out in theaters. So
Nope.
That's the Jordan Peele movie with the...
Aliens?
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Yeah. But yeah, like, the minimum wait time for a movie to go on the streaming service that its company is associated with is roughly 45 days. But yeah, just keep an eye out for them either way, because they are both fun movies for completely different reasons. But yes, I would definitely say go see Renfield if you want just like a fun comedy horror that you're just like, is Nick Cage, it's Dracula. But Evil Dead Rise, it is not for the faint of heart. That movie was so good. That is what I wanted out of a Evil Dead sequel.
Well, I can't wait to watch it.
Like, I saw the new Scream, and I thought that was really good. Like, that's probably one of the best...
I haven't seen that yet either, so...
Scream 6 is probably one of the best of the franchise, and Evil Dead blew that out of the fucking water.
Really?
Yes!
I have heard a lot of people say that this newest Scream is the best one besides the original.
Yes. It is really good, but Evil Dead Rise was so good! So many creepy moments. The gore in it is just, ugh. Oh, it was so much gore! I think I looked up how much fake blood they had to use, and it was like thousands of gallons of blood was needed for that movie.
Jesus H.
Hold on, I'm gonna look that up real quick, but yeah, it was a very messy movie. But yeah, it was so good. And I wish I could talk more about it, but I'm trying
not to give away spoilers.
Yeah, because I want you guys to be able to like go in as blind as possible so you can get the max effect of it.
The holy fucking shit factor.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Oh, where's the... There it is. Oh, here it is. So the director, Lee Cronin, stated in an interview that 6,500 liters of fake blood, or 1,720 gallons,
holy shit,
were used for the movie. Almost 2,000 gallons of blood. Take a gallon-sized water or milk jug, and like that's a frame of reference. Almost 2,000 of those was used for that movie in fake blood.
I'm not trying to think about washing that shit out of my hair. Oh, wow.
But yes, two really good movies that came out like a week or two apart from each other, too.
I remember, because you were like, Mom, I'm going to see this. Mom, I'm going to see that. And I'm like, asshole! Because I wanted to see them, too. But, I mean, I don't go like you do. I'd rather wait until they come on where I can stream them.
Yeah.
Or...
Well, it's also because I'm in
Because I pee a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I pee.
Oh, I had to pee real bad during Resident
And I can't hold it, thanks to you and your brother.
Hey,
you fucking destroyed my bladder.
Don't blame your squirrel bladder on us.
Well, you guys did it. You did it,
I had to pee really bad during Evil Dead Rise. And there was I'm like, I gotta make it to the end. Gotta make it to the end. And I was just like, nope. If I move another millimeter, I'm gonna piss myself if I'm not careful.
Did you have a few drops squirt out?
No. I was just like, I have to go. I'll be right back. I literally ran out of the theater, and when I went, because I was going to use the bathroom closest to the theater, obviously, but no, they had it taped off because they were cleaning it. So I had to run
That's
across.
always the way.
And I had to run across the building to the other bathroom, and I'm in there like, ah. And then I run back from the other side of the building into the theater. And I didn't miss a fucking thing.
Well, that's good.
I was just like, let me guess, I only missed them going from this place to this place, and my friend was like, yeah. I was like, oh, thank goodness.
Well, that's good. But yeah, I can't wait to watch. I'm excited.
Yeah, you'll like both of them. But yeah, they're very fun movies.
I do remember Renfield, and I thought that it looked kind of funny. And my first thought was it did kind of remind me of What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, it's like if you take that kind of premise... But they're not idiots.
They are really idiots.
Yeah, What We Do in the Shadows, they're dumb as
are.
hell.
But that's what makes it so goddamn funny.
One of my favorite bits, though, is when, who was it? It was Nausea, when she's talking to her reincarnated ex-boyfriend who dies, and he's a ghost, and he's talking to her as a ghost, and then you see Laszlo come out and act like he's not there. And he's like, all right, well, I'll just go back inside now. And he's like, there's a fucking ghost in the front yard! But yeah, we got off track, but that was my 2 mini reviews of Renfield and Evil Dead Rise.
I'm definitely going to have to check them out. But,
by the way, Bruce Campbell does have a very small cameo in the movie. But it's very easy to miss.
Oh, balls. You would think he would be in it. I mean, he made the movies.
He did have a lot to do with the making of this movie.
Oh, excuse me.
But they did have him do a very small... I can't say blink and you'll miss it, but it's a very small cameo.
Kind of like a Stan Lee cameo?
Yeah, kinda.
All right.
Kinda.
For those of you who don't know what a Stan Lee cameo is, he would have
he would have a very small part in every Marvel movie.
Rest in peace, Stan Lee.
Up until he passed away.
You were the fucking man.
For example, he was the DJ in a strip club in Deadpool.
That was fucking awesome.
But yeah, he usually, any Marvel movie that came out up until he died, he would have a cameo in. And even afterward, they would have Stan Lee appear in some way.
There was a TV show called, let me think.
Oh, the Superhumans?
Superhumans.
Yeah, that he hosted,
and he hosted it.
Yep.
I loved that show.
And
those people were fucking insane.
And he had the really flexible contortionist guy.
No, that guy, but also the guy that ran for 7 or 8 hours and never had the lactic acid.
Oh no, that was he was swimming.
There was a guy that ran too.
Yeah, and then
he was a triathlon athlete.
Yeah. And then there was the guy that could cut a BB bullet with a katana.
Yeah,
without any preparation. He could just king.
Yeah, there are superhuman people out there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thanks, guys, for listening.
Thanks for tuning in.
We always have to do the if you or anyone you know.
Yeah, you'll hear that in just a second.
Yeah, that's coming up, and give us a like and a share, and tell all your friends. I mean, we might have 7 or 8 listeners now.
Yay! Also, if you hear popping and cracking, I'm literally just cracking my knuckles. There's nothing wrong with that.
They've heard me burp.
Well, no, I'm saying in case they think it's like, oh no, their audio equipment's shit. And it's like, yeah,
well, our
we use
audio
a phone.
equipment is shit. We're using an iPhone 11, but it works for us.
Yeah, it comes out clear enough.
So, there's that.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. We love you. Be safe. Take your allergy meds, because Mother Nature is fucking everybody up this year.
Yep.
And thank you for listening to Horror Cultural, where
we grow love for all things spooky and macabre. See you guys later.
Bye.
If you have a suggestion or would like to reach out to us, or you just want to hear more Horror Cultural, be sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or send us an email at horrorcultural@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook at Horror Cultural, Instagram at Horror Cultural, and Twitter at Horror Cultural. Should be obvious at this point. But yes, please follow us everywhere you can, and don't forget to check out our website when it inevitably is finished.